We are live in 3, 2, 1.
There's just no way I could have ever just ran past him.
Compassion in the state cross-country championship. A runner sacrifices a first-place finish and possible scholarships to help his injured teammate cross the finish line.
We did it! Thank you!
A historic election for Utah. Provo Mayor John Curtis wins Utah's first ever special election.
And a changing of the guard among Utah's mayors. Several incumbents lose re-election as new city leaders prepare to be sworn into office.
3 cheerleaders from a Utah high school are taking heat for posting a racially charged video.
A movement on social media unites victims of sexual assault. People from all across the country, including here in Utah, are speaking out.
If you're heading out of town this weekend, you will be part of record crowds traveling out of the Beehive State. Black Friday shopping turnout and what the future holds for Provo's Town Center Mall.
Breathtaking photos of a violent standoff between a police officer and a robber in a Texas mall.
Americans are expected to break sales records with Cyber Monday shopping.
A North Korean soldier makes a run for the border. We'll tell you how the defector is doing and how North Koreans are responding. BYU students are breaking new ground with free-flying drone technology. We'll show you how they put these drones to work.
The FBI joins the search for a killer on the loose. He escaped from a mental institution in Hawaii and hopped on a plane. We'll tell you where he may be now.
Taser, stop!
A man gets tackled and tased while trying to escape from a court hearing, and it's all caught on video.
A man tackles a bank robber and it's all caught on surveillance video. We'll show you the video and tell you how it all unfolded.
Breaking news out of Provo, BYU head coach Kalani Sitake announced that BYU offensive coordinator Ty Detmer is relieved of his role. I'll show you more about the future of BYU football in 11 News Sports.
Australia votes to make gay marriage legal, and just hours before, an apostle of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints speaks on LGBTQ rights.
11 News reporter Madison Heap joins us in the newsroom. Madison, what did Elder Ballard say?
Hey Landon, Elder Ballard spoke at yesterday's BYU devotional. He didn't speak specifically about the vote in Australia, but he did say the rights of citizenship should be protected for all people, including the LGBTQ community.
The church believes the best approach to balancing these rights is to protect the core rights of all groups and then find reasonable compromises in other areas where rights conflict. Everyone is entitled to love and respect.
The LDS Church encourages marriage between a man and a woman, but Elder Ballard says everyone is a child of God and God loves them no matter what. We actually have an openly gay BYU student here with us. Her name is Sabina. Sabina, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course.
I just have a few questions for you. Mainly, what did Elder Ballard's words mean to you?
As a gay BYU student and as a gay Mormon, it was really wonderful to hear his words supporting me as a person. And just knowing that, like, I am a child of God no matter what, because sometimes it's really hard for me to, like, wrap my head around because it's, like, so much conflict in that issue. And especially for the different other students at BYU who are not out to themselves and who are more uncomfortable in their own skin and knowing that they're gay and knowing that an apostle of the Lord has shown love to them brings me so much joy.
Absolutely. And what's it like for you to walk around campus, a very conservative campus, as an openly gay student?
Depends on the day, honestly. Some days I feel really proud to be different, really proud to be myself and share the message that it's okay to be different and it's okay to be gay and that, like, you should love people like me. And then other days it's really hard and really terrifying knowing that people are, like, maybe extremely watching me or, like, waiting for me to slip up or judging me just based on who I am and not actually knowing or based on who I am attracted to and not who I am.
Great. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Madison. A former karate instructor from Davis County will appear in court today for sexually abusing a teenage girl. 20-year-old Damian Tyler Fulmer was booked into Davis County Jail Monday afternoon. He is accused of sexually abusing one of his karate students. He is charged with 5 counts of rape of a child and 1 count of sexual exploitation of a minor.
A jogger stabs her would-be groper, and the police need your help finding him. The groper attacked the woman who was jogging in Salt Lake in the area of 1700 South and 5th East on Friday morning. However, the jogger carried a knife and was able to chase the groper and stab him a few times before he ran away. Police have checked local hospitals for the groper and are doing DNA analysis on the blood found on the jogger's blade. Police are asking anyone who has any information about the attack or the groper to call 801-799-3000.
Police are warning people to always travel in groups after a sexual assault in Provo's Rock Canyon. 11 News reporter Charlie Young is here. Charlie, have police caught the suspect?
Yes, they have, and a woman is feeling pretty lucky after she went hiking with her friends and had a scary confrontation.
After she started up the trail with friends, she decided she was going to double back and use the restroom before getting too far into her hike, and she was confronted by an armed man in the restroom.
He had a knife.
That person brandished the knife at her and assaulted her, held it against her, and attempted to commit a robbery demanding money from her.
But when she didn't have any money, he tried to sexually assault her.
There were some contact offenses. He ordered her to begin disrobing, and he touched her with his hand, we're told.
But while he was doing this, she had a plan of her own.
She had the presence of mind to surreptitiously dial her cell phone and call one of her hiking companions.
That friend came to her rescue. The two girls were able to describe the attacker, and police created a sketch. That sketch was published along with a physical description of the man on Friday. Not long after the information was released, Provo police were able to find and arrest 34-year-old Wayne Ray Lees Jr.
He was charged with an attempted robbery and a sexual assault, first and second degree felonies, and he is being held at the Utah County Jail.
Lieutenant Taylor told me they are positive they have the right man in custody, and they couldn't have made the arrest without the help of BYU police.
Police say a Mapleton father shot and killed his wife and children and then himself. Mapleton police say 45-year-old Timothy Griffith used two guns, one to kill his family and the other to take his own life. Griffith bought the guns in September after he and his family moved to Utah from Switzerland. He was found dead Thursday along with his 42-year-old wife Jessica Griffith, 16-year-old stepdaughter Samantha Bedell, and 5-year-old son Alexander Griffith. The family dog was also killed.
Instead of breaking in, stealing items, and getting out quickly, a burglar in Taylorsville takes his time. Take a look at these photos. Unified police say a man broke into a home in Taylorsville on November 10th. For 2 hours, the thief tried on clothes, looked through personal items, and even went through the fridge. When the homeowner returned, the burglar jumped out of a window and stole her car. The burglar is described as a Caucasian man in his 30s, 5'9" with tattoos. The car is a dark green 2004 Honda Element with Utah license plate Z454US. If anyone has any information, call the Unified Police at 801-743-7000.
There's a lot of pressure on Congress to pass tax reform before the end of the year. 11 News reporter Sabrina Riley talked with Utah Senator Mike Lee to find out the latest in Washington.
For families like the Lamonts.
I'm Brooke Lamont, and I have 5 kids. And my husband, Matt Lamont, is a medical resident at the University of Utah.
A little can go a long way.
It's hard because we have medical school debt, which is really overwhelming. And so this money is just good for helping us with basic things.
And when it comes to raising 5 children,
clothes for them for school, shoes for school,
every penny counts. Something Senator Mike Lee understands, and why this congressional season he's fighting for families.
The family is the fundamental unit of society.
Leaders in Washington are hard at work to pass tax reform as the end of the year approaches.
The Senate Finance Committee this week is reviewing the Senate bill and doing what's called a markup, which is where individual members of the committee are able to submit proposed changes to the plan.
Senator Lee, alongside Florida Senator Marco Rubio, are proposing a plan to fix a so-called glitch in the tax system.
There's a lesser-known, more subtle feature in the tax code that we refer to as the parent tax penalty. It's America's parents end up contributing to the senior entitlement programs twice.
First, as they pay taxes, and again as they raise their children. Senator Lee wants to raise the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000. Compared to the $300,000 the Department of Agriculture says it takes to raise a child, it's really not that much.
This per child tax credit that I'm talking about is a drop in the bucket compared to what people spend in raising their children.
Recognizing Utah has one of the highest dependents claim per tax return, some may argue Lee is only fighting for his people.
Whether they live in Utah or Montana, Maryland, Massachusetts, any other state, they shouldn't be punished by the federal government for having children.
He believes the families overlooked in Washington.
America's moms and dads don't have an army of lobbyists, much like America's corporations do.
While change is not always easy, Lee is hopeful that compromise is on the horizon.
We've got to make sure that we're doing something, and something significant, for hardworking middle-class families throughout America.
And his reform will bring relief for American families like the Lamonts. In Highland, Sabrina Riley, 11 News.
The 2017 election is barely over, but people are already looking forward to the 2018 election.
There's an online petition encouraging Mitt Romney to run for the Utah Senate seat. 11 News reporter Allison Caffrey joins us now. Allison, what do people think about Romney's potential return to politics?
Well, there's been a lot of talk lately about former presidential candidate Mitt Romney taking a spot on the Utah ballot in the 2018 election. One person who feels strongly about that is Dan Hemmert, the Utah State Senator from Orem.
It's exactly what our country needs.
Utah State Senator Dan Hemmert says Mitt Romney's decades of business experience and dedication to serving others make him a great leader. So he started Recruit Romney, a grassroots petition to urge Romney to run for the Utah Senate seat if incumbent Senator Orrin Hatch chooses to not seek re-election.
The Recruit Romney concept came from reading in the news a lot about our Senate seat. I thought, you know what, why don't we start something from within Utah, hopefully get someone to run that I think would represent Utah well in Washington, D.C.
Without any marketing dollars spent and a website that has only been live for 5 days, the petition has already received thousands of signatures.
This all kind of cascaded really fast.
Utahns have shown support for Romney in the past. They voted overwhelmingly in favor of him in the 2012 presidential election. He received 72.6% of the votes. But not everyone is excited by the possibility of Romney's return to Utah politics.
Actually, there's been more positive than negative for sure, but there has been some negative. Right?
I think Mitt's time in politics is left.
And I don't think that he's what Utah needs.
The former governor of Massachusetts now lives in Utah, which means he does meet the requirements to run for the Senate seat.
Romney has yet to comment on the petition or his plans to seek election. He will need to make a decision by the filing deadline, which is March 15th, 2018. If you are interested in signing the petition, visit recruitromney.com. Reporting for 11 News, I'm Allison Caffrey.